is KCAL News Mornings.
Welcome back. This is KCAL News at 9.
And we've made it to 9:30.
Unbelievably.
We're tracking a massive storm across the Southland this morning. State of emergency is in effect across the state as crews race to respond. The destruction already across the Bay Area and Central Coast from earlier storms, but authorities are warning residents to stay inside and off the road unless they are ordered to evacuate their area. In the Central Coast, Montecito residents have been filling sandbags, preparing for the worst after the community was partially destroyed, you may remember, nearly 5 years ago by deadly mudslides that killed 23 people.
And it's not just rain slamming the Southland. In the San Bernardino Mountains, we're seeing snow, fog, wind, pretty much everything. On the drive on Highway 18 to Big Bear, conditions are dicey because of that thick fog. Look at that. You can't see anything. Remember, if you do have to drive today, be especially careful and try to avoid it altogether.
Heavy rain is slamming the Inland Empire, and drivers through the Cajon Pass are being warned to stay off the road. We want to turn to Rick Montanez this morning and get an update on that.
Yeah, and we're also seeing some fog here on the 15. Let's shout. Is some pretty good amount of traffic here. You also see some hazard lights up ahead. Difficult to see. Visibility is very low, so drivers have to take it slow. Let's show you some video from earlier where CHP was running a traffic brake because there was a car they were trying to get to. That driver spun out. He tells us that he was not speeding, but he hit a puddle, lost control, spun out, hit the wall, and they were trying to help him get out of there. Take a listen.
Even though you're not speeding, it's hard to control vehicles most of the time going uphill. And that's what happened to me because we're going uphill. I lost control and I ended up pretty much in the wall.
So it all happens so quickly. I mean, look at the conditions here. Again, this is a live look at the 15 southbound, just south of Cleghorn Road. So you can see, I mean, we've got the low clouds, fog, heavy rain, and then all the water that's kicked up from all of these vehicles, especially the big rigs. So very tough conditions to deal with here. And of course, some of the drivers we've talked with said they are trying to take it slow, but conditions are just really difficult to deal with. I'm Rick Montanez, live in the Cajon Pass. Back to you.
Rick, thank you. And it is messy out there. Stay safe. And cleanup in West Hollywood is ongoing after a tree came crashing down there. KCAL's Tina Patel is live on Lexington and Spalding Avenues, where crews have been working to get this tree cleaned up. And you've also talked to the owners of the cars that were crushed.
Yeah, and I have to give credit to these public works crews because it is really heavy rain right now, but they have been working hard to get this tree into pieces and kind of off the roadway because they know that there are people living here that need to get through and need to get by. Now, if you look kind of at the back there, there is a red SUV that was underneath this tree at one point. There was a second car that was underneath there. We have some video from earlier this morning, a giant eucalyptus. It was around 6:30 this morning that it just sort of gave way. A number of people in the neighborhood tell me they actually heard that crash coming down, and at first they weren't sure what exactly had happened. Fortunately, no one was hurt when that tree came down, but a big mess, and are now concerned about some of the other trees in this neighborhood and whether they'll be able to hold up in this saturated ground. Here's what one of the car owners told us about what happened.
This neighborhood, a lot of people are out walking their dogs, and it was, 6:30 in the morning or something. So, yeah, and with all the things that could have went wrong, not bad.
Yeah, I have to say that I talked to both of the people who had cars that were underneath that tree, and they are feeling very lucky that they were not injured, that other people in the neighborhood that weren't injured. And they say they know, this is what insurance is for. Hopefully they will get everything fixed. They're just glad that this wasn't worse. But of course, the rain's still coming down. Still a lot of trees in this neighborhood, including some other eucalyptus. So crews are going to be keeping an eye and making sure, hopefully, that nothing else happens in this neighborhood. We'll send it back to you.
At least it smells good out there, as she mentioned earlier. We do have breaking news to get to. Let's check in now with the desk.
Yeah, Chris Holmstrom has new video just in from Boyle Heights.
Yeah, that's right, Rudy Bay and Jamie. So we've been canvassing the area, searching for damage of any kind. We've done a lot of downed trees. We just saw one in West Hollywood. But let's go ahead and go to this flooding video from Boyle Heights. Now, this video was taken not too long ago. This is in the 1700 block of South Grand Vista Avenue. This is near Downey in Washington. Apparently, the high flood waters in that area have caused a lot of destruction. Witnesses say that vehicles vehicles were floating in the street, crashing into each other, but definitely a big mess right now in Boyle Heights. Just one of many areas that's experiencing this kind of problem. But definitely, if you see video, please let us know, and we'll be sure to report that right away. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and send it to Evelyn. And Evelyn, you're tracking this storm that is never letting up, it seems like.
Not letting up. And you know what? Once it does let up, Chris, there's going to be another storm, and then another storm, and then maybe one more storm after that. But let's just take it one storm at a time this morning as we get a look at satellite radar. You're going to see both rain and mountain snow, which is significant because snow levels started at 7,500 feet. Now they're quickly dropping to 5,500 feet. And we're still tracking very heavy rain moving through parts of the Santa Clarita Valley, the San Gabriel Valley, and parts of West Los Angeles. So let's take a closer look at what we're expecting as we move through the day. By 11 a.m., we're still expecting very heavy rain and the possibility of thunderstorms. There's two waves moving through. The first one right now, the next one later this afternoon, and that's going to bring a little more instability. We're going to have that unstable air mass that's going to pop off thunderstorms potentially later in the day. So it may feel calm for a moment there, but again, don't get too comfortable because we are expecting another wave. So heavy rain from San Bernardino to Pomona to Anaheim, Costa Mesa. Again, that's 11 a.m. Then we stop the clock at 1 p.m. and we get a little more of a break with the exception of Temecula. And then a little later today, calmer, but then bracing for the potential for more thunderstorms and of course more rain. We're going to break it all down for you coming up in just a little bit. But for now, back to you.
Evelyn, thank you. And look at us. It's time now for a coffee break.
Woo, I love a break.
And you know, what better way to start off than with some royal drama?
Yeah, we already got a look into some of what happened when Prince Harry and Meghan sat down. You know, they did that whole interview series. They put it out on Netflix and the documentary. But of course, the drama is not stopping there.
No, of course not.
We have books to sell, people. The Guardian got an exclusive look at Prince Harry's upcoming memoir. They're reporting all the juicy bits, so if you don't want to buy the book, just go to their website. Harry wrote about his brother William physically attacking him.
What?
Harry and William said that William grabbed him by his collar, ripped his necklace off, and then knocked him to the floor. That all apparently happened during a fight about Meghan, where Harry says William called her difficult, rude, and abrasive. This morning, there's also some new details out that the Guardian is spilling. I think someone's like reading the book and then just typing out, you know, all the juicy
live
tidbits.
typing.
Yeah. So apparently, the King, Charles, at one point made a joke with Harry that, you know, he wasn't his father.
Right.
That sent him, you know, sideways a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he also says that he really did want to go through the tunnel where his mother died. So,
You know, we talk about this one a lot behind the scenes in the makeup room, you know, and we do.
We do.
And I really do understand why they're telling their story, because they want to get the truth out. However, you know, we've all gotten in family arguments, and I feel like sharing deets about the fight is just
I don't
a
think
little
it-
messy.
And it's a
sad.
little incongruous with their narrative about not wanting to be in the spotlight, wanting to take a step back, not wanting all the scrutiny, but at the same time, kind of inviting it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Leave out some of the details. Please, just some. Keep some to yourself. You know, let's talk about inflation, because it doesn't discriminate.
My favorite topic, inflation.
Everybody loves talking about inflation. You know,
I actually do think it's interesting.
We're all feeling the pain at the grocery store. You go grocery shopping and it's like, oh, everything is so pricey. You know who else is feeling the pain? Cardi B.
Oh my goodness.
Cardi B, yeah. She took
Good one, Kalina.
she took to Twitter to say she's fed up with high grocery prices. And she said what we're all thinking. Is it really worth paying these prices for food you still have to prep and cook? Right?
That's a good point.
Her biggest complaint, she says,
she have to prep and cook?
lettuce costs $6 where she lives.
She does like cooking.
Yeah, she does.
She has a lot of
Yes,
videos of her
I
cooking,
will
for
say
sure.
she has come from a background where she has experienced, right,
Yeah.
having to watch her wallet
Of
like
course.
most of America.
Yeah,
so.
no, for sure. So let's just about the lettuce.
It's expensive lettuce.